So your organization is jumping into AI, right? Which is fantastic. But here's the big question. Are you doing it responsibly? The answer is AI governance, but let's be real. Building a program like that from scratch can feel absolutely massive. So in this explainer, we're going to break it all down and give you a clear, actionable roadmap for that journey. And just so we're all on the same page, everything we're talking about today comes straight from Chapter 10 of the tutorial on developing an AI governance program by Virtualization Options LLC. We are laser-focused on their guidance for implementation. All right, here's our game plan. First, we'll tackle the implementation challenge itself. Then, we'll lay out a phased strategy to make it manageable. After that, we dive into a detailed 24-month roadmap, look at what makes these programs succeed versus what makes them fail, and finally, we'll talk about how you can start your own governance journey.
Okay, let's just get this out there. Implementing a full AI governance program. It's a major undertaking. There's really no sugarcoating that. But, and this is the key thing to remember, it is absolutely manageable if you have the right approach.
And this right here. This is the question that stops so many companies right in their tracks. You know you need it, you see all the different pieces, policies, tools, training, and it just feels paralyzing. And you know what? That's a totally normal reaction, but there is a clear way forward. And that way forward is a strategic, phased rollout. Honestly, you should think of this as the map for your entire journey. You wouldn't try to build a whole city overnight, right? No, you'd lay down the main roads first, then build out one neighborhood at a time. That's exactly what we're doing here.
So what does a phased rollout really mean? Well, the idea is simple, but it's incredibly powerful. You don't do everything at once. You build your program progressively. The beauty of this is that you start delivering real value almost immediately because you're tackling the biggest, scariest risks first. That gets you some quick wins and builds momentum right from the start.
Now, of course, any big journey needs the right supplies. You absolutely have to have sustained executive sponsorship. This can't just be a side project. You need dedicated resources. I'm talking people and a budget. It also demands real collaboration across departments, from legal to tech to business units. And of course, you need realistic timelines and, like we just said, a big focus on those early wins to prove this whole thing is working.
Okay, let's get to the main event. This is the centerpiece of the whole explainer. The tangible, step-by-step timeline. This is where the big strategy becomes a concrete, doable plan.
Let's really dig in here, because this is the heart of the plan. For the first 3 months, you're just laying the foundation. That means getting executive buy-in and putting your core team together. Then, from months 4 to 6, you build your core capabilities, maybe putting your first basic risk assessment process into place. Next, from months 7 to 12, it's all about expansion and integration. You're rolling out governance to more projects and weaving it into how people already work. By months 13 to 18, your program is starting to hit maturation. You're getting full coverage and starting to automate things. Finally, months 19 to 24 are for optimization. You're fine-tuning everything for peak efficiency. And you'll notice, it doesn't just stop. It becomes a cycle of continuous enhancement.
And now that we have the map, let's talk a little travel advice. Knowing what to do is critical, but knowing what not to do, that's just as important. This is the stuff that can keep you from taking a major wrong turn on your journey.
This slide just lays it out so clearly. On the left, you've got the path to success, things like executive commitment and a practical risk-based focus. But now look at the pitfalls on the right. If you take away just one thing here, it's this. Programs fail when they become projects about governance instead of being woven into how your teams actually work. Things like perfectionism, bureaucracy, and siloed thinking, they're all just signs of that one core problem.
So, let's bring it all together. We're getting near the end of our roadmap, and it's time to talk about the core philosophy here, and, more importantly, what your very next step should be.
You know, this quote from the source material just says it all, doesn't it? The goal is not to arrive at some mythical finish line called perfect governance. The real goal is to get on the path of continuous improvement. You can't wait for the perfect moment, because it will never come. The most important thing you can possibly do is just begin.
And that leads to this crucial point. The true goal isn't to create red tape or bureaucracy. It's to build that invisible infrastructure we talked about earlier. When you do it right, governance isn't some annoying series of roadblocks. It's the solid, reliable guardrails that give your teams the confidence to innovate with AI and to do it quickly and responsibly.
And with that, we're at the end. The roadmap is right there in front of you, the principles are clear, so the only question left is the one that really matters for you, right now. Looking at your own company, your own teams, what is the very first step on your journey?